the Great British Drought of 25. Good afternoon. A significant meteorological event, or rather a lack thereof, has been recorded in the county of Yorkshire. Following the driest and warmest spring since records began, a state of affairs which has left the ground notedly undamp, the regional water supplier, Yorkshire Water, has made an announcement. This announcement pertains to the controlled distribution of water. The situation is being described by some as a bit dry. For a more detailed analysis of the ambient moisture levels, we go to our reporter on the ground, Susan Cartwright. Susan, are you there?
Thank you, Neil. I am here. On what can technically be described as a residential thoroughfare, the atmospheric conditions are warm. I can confirm that the level of precipitation in the last 24 hours has been 0 milliliters.
Susan, the reports suggest a hosepipe ban is imminent. Can you unpack the specifics of this directive for our viewers who may be unfamiliar with the concept of enforced garden-based temperance?
Indeed, Neil. The directive, colloquially known as a hosepipe ban, is a multifaceted regulation. It prohibits the use of a flexible tube, commonly referred to as a hosepipe, for a variety of domestic and leisure activities. These include but are not limited to the watering of gardens, the cleaning of privately owned motor vehicles, and the filling of paddling pools. It seems the only paddling we'll be doing is up a dry creek.
A Waterbee's jest. Very good, Susan. Now, what has been the immediate impact on the local populace?
The reaction has been measured, Neil. I have observed a 15% increase in the sale of watering cans at a local hardware establishment. Interestingly, the sales of green-colored watering cans are outpacing the red ones by a factor of 2.3 to 1. One gentleman I spoke to, a Mr. Godfrey, has calculated that it will now take him an additional 47 minutes to water his prize-winning petunias. He described the situation as a bit of a faff.
A faff, a powerful emotional descriptor. Susan, what of the reservoirs, the large bodies of water from which we procure our water?
The reservoirs, Neil, are experiencing what could be termed a significant drawdown. I have a statistic here from Yorkshire Water. The water level at the Thrush Reservoir is currently 1.78 meters below the seasonal average. To put that in perspective for our viewers, that is the equivalent of 4.2 million rubber ducks not being in a bath. The water company has assured the public they are on top of it, which is an interesting turn of phrase given the circumstances. You could say their high-level meetings are having to address some very low levels.
Another play on words. You're on a roll, Susan. A dry roll, one might say. Now, what of the wildlife? How is the local fauna coping with this aridity?
An excellent question, Neil. I have been observing a specific garden gnome in a front garden on this very street for the past hour. Its painted-on smile has remained fixed, but I have noted a complete absence of bees in the vicinity of its fishing rod. Furthermore, a local urban fox was seen earlier attempting to lick the dew from a car bonnet. The car, a Ford Fiesta, was however parked under a carport, resulting in a suboptimal dew yield for the fox. It was truly a heart-wrenching display of vulpine disappointment. It really puts the no in H2O for him.
Fascinating. A distinct lack of condensation. And what about the human response beyond the purchasing of alternative watering apparatus?
There has been a notable uptick in what I can only describe as pavement conversations, Neil. Neighbors who previously only communicated via the raising of a single index finger while reversing out of their driveways are now engaging in full-throated discussions about cloud formations. One conversation I monitored lasted an unprecedented 3 minutes and 14 seconds and included the phrases, "Well, what can you do? It'll rain when it's ready," and "My roses are looking ever so sad."
So, a spike in community interaction, precipitated by a shared sense of impending dehydration. Every cloud has a silver lining, even if there are no clouds to be seen. Thank you, Susan. A sobering, or perhaps I should say a drying out report from Harrogate. It's a reminder that water is not just something that comes out of a tap. It is a complex issue that requires management. Let's all hope for a spot of the wet stuff soon. I'm sure the gardens of Yorkshire would be relieved. In other news, a local man has successfully taught his parrot to say, "Is it bin day?" The parrot is reportedly now asking the question on non-bin days, leading to what has been described as a mild confusion. We'll have more on that story and the specific recycling schedule for the Parrot's local council after the break.